The late afternoon rain drummed against the tin roof of the small garage in Portland, Oregon. Marcus Thompson was wiping grease from his calloused hands when he heard the motorcycle engine sputter and die outside. Through the foggy window, he saw a woman in a black leather jacket, her dark hair soaked from the rain. Crouched beside a vintage Harley Davidson, she wasn't screaming for help or frantically dialing her phone. She just stood there in the downpour, shoulders trembling slightly. Marcus had been there before alone with broken machines and shattered dreams. He opened the door and stepped into the rain. No one could have imagined that this simple act of kindness would forever change both their lives. One man who had lost everything: his wife, his dreams, his faith and love. One woman who had everything: money, power, fame, but no one genuine by her side. Sometimes, the most unexpected encounters bring the greatest miracles of all. Marcus Thompson, 34 years old, owned Thompson Auto Care on Belmont Street, a quiet road nestled between cozy coffee shops and vintage stores. The garage was small, barely fitting 2 cars, but it was clean and organized. On the wall hung customer appreciation letters and one faded photograph: a younger Marcus standing beside a red muscle car, his arm around a blonde woman with a radiant smile. 2 years ago, Sarah, his wife, had passed away from breast cancer. She was only 29. Marcus still remembered those final nights in the hospital, when Sarah gripped his hand tightly and whispered, "Teach Lily to be kind, and don't forget to love yourself again." After that, he moved through life like a machine, caring for his daughter, working, sleeping, then caring for her again. During those first months, Marcus even forgot to eat, forgot to cut his hair, until 6-year-old Lily asked, "Daddy, why don't you smile like when Mommy was alive?" Now, Marcus had learned to live again. Every morning at 6, he woke up to brew coffee and prepare breakfast for Lily, usually heart-shaped pancakes or toasted bread with scrambled eggs. The little girl always sat on her high chair, legs swinging, telling him about her dreams from the night before. "Daddy, I dreamed that Mommy taught me how to make cookies. She said, 'You're really good at fixing cars, but terrible at baking.'" Marcus would laugh, his heart tightening. Sarah was right about that. She always knew how to make him smile, even when she wasn't there anymore. The garage opened at 8 in the morning. Marcus wasn't a wealthy mechanic, and his customers were mostly working-class people: taxi drivers, delivery workers, students with old cars. He charged reasonable prices and often waived labor costs for struggling families. "Mr. Thompson, I don't have money to fix my car right now. Can I pay you next month when I get my paycheck?" Marcus would simply nod. Sometimes, he even used his own money to buy parts for customers who truly needed help. In the afternoons, Marcus picked up Lily from school. She would sit in the garage doing homework, occasionally asking about mechanical parts. "What does this part do, Daddy?" Lily pointed to the transmission. "It helps the car change speeds." "Sweetheart, like human emotions, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, but they always need careful attention," Marcus answered, his hands gently maneuvering the wrench. In the evenings, after Lily fell asleep, Marcus often sat in their small backyard, sipping beer and gazing at Portland's star-filled sky. He hadn't dated anyone since Sarah's death, not because he wasn't lonely, but because he was afraid. Afraid of loving someone and losing them again. Afraid of Lily becoming attached to someone who might leave. Afraid his heart wasn't strong enough to endure another loss. On weekends, Marcus and Lily would stroll through Powell's Books or Washington Park. Lily rode on his shoulders, pointing at beautiful cars. "Daddy, when will you be able to fix cars like those?" Marcus smiled. "My little girl, the most beautiful cars aren't determined by their price. They're determined by the love the mechanic puts into them." He didn't know that very soon. These words would carry deeper meaning than he ever imagined. The small details of their life revealed Marcus's character, the way he saved leftover sandwich crusts to feed the neighborhood birds, How he taught Lily to say, please, and thank you to everyone, regardless of their job. The careful way he folded Sarah's photo each night and placed it in the bedside drawer, whispering, good night, love, before turning off the light. His hands were permanently stained with motor oil, but they were gentle when braiding Lily's hair or checking her forehead for fever. Marcus carried his loneliness like a familiar weight, not the bitter kind that turns people cold, but the quiet kind that makes someone more compassionate. He understood what it meant to need help, to feel invisible, to wonder if anyone truly saw you. This understanding made him notice the woman in the rain outside his garage, because she was beautiful, though she was, but because she looked as lost as he had felt 2 years ago. Elena Vasquez, 31 years old, was the CEO of Vasquez Techa Technology Company, valued at $2.8 billion with headquarters in San Francisco. Forbes magazine had dubbed her the tech queen under 35. Elena's office sat on the 40th floor, overlooking San Francisco Bay, decorated with expensive artwork and Italian designer furniture. But at night, Elena often sat alone in her leather chair, staring at the city's colorful lights, feeling as empty as the skyscraper itself. Last week, Elena had called off her engagement to David Sterling, heir to a prestigious Wall Street banking family, not from lack of affection, but because she realized David loved her status more than her true self. You know, Elena, when we marry, my portfolio will increase by at least 30%. Your company perfectly complements my family's investment portfolio, David had said during dinner at a 3-Michelin-star restaurant. Elena set down her fork and looked directly into his eyes. Do you ever remember what my favorite color is? Or my favorite food? David fumbled, forcing a laugh. Color? Blue? And food. Sushi? Elena actually hated sushi, and her favorite color was earth brown, the color of the New Mexico fields where she grew up. Elena's family was poor. Her mother worked as a janitor, her father as a handyman. Elena had attended college on scholarships, working at a coffee shop throughout her 4 years at MIT to make ends meet. She remembered those sleepless nights writing code, surviving on instant noodles and black coffee. Her only dream then was to create software that would help people and earn enough money to take her parents traveling. When Vasquez Tech succeeded, Elena had accomplished that goal. Her parents now lived in a beautiful house in Santa Fe, traveling the world. But success also meant Elena grew increasingly distant from herself. Endless meetings, fake social parties, relationships that all served purposes. Elena felt like she was living in a glass cage. Everyone could see her, admire her, but no one truly understood her. This week, Elena decided to disappear from San Francisco. She didn't notify anyone, only called her assistant. I need 2 weeks off. Cancel all appointments. Then she took her Harley Davidson gift she'd bought herself for her 30th birthday, but never had time to ride and headed north. No specific plan, just wanting to feel freedom again. Elena rode through California's coastal roads, through Oregon's forests. She felt relief for the first time in years. No one calling to ask, what does Miss Vasquez think about this deal? No one judging her every word. She was just a woman on a motorcycle, hair flowing in the wind, breathing fresh air. That afternoon, when she reached Portland, it started raining. Elena pulled over to put on her rain gear, but the Harley suddenly died. She tried restarting several times. Nothing. Her phone had been dead since morning. She deliberately not charged it to disconnect completely. Standing in Portland's rain, Elena felt helpless for the first time. Not helpless because she couldn't fix the bike, but helpless because she realized she'd forgotten how to ask strangers for help. She looked around and saw warm light from a small garage across the street. Thompson Auto Care, an old but clean sign. For the first time in her life, Elena needed to rely on a complete stranger without using fame or money. And she didn't know this was exactly what she'd been longing for all along. "What's wrong with your bike?" Marcus stepped into the rain, still holding an oil-stained rag. Elena turned around, seeing his face clearly for the first time. A handsome face with strong features but very gentle eyes. "I'm not sure," she replied, her voice trembling from cold. "It just died suddenly." Marcus examined the Harley, then looked at Elena. She didn't resemble his usual customer clothes, were simple but high quality. The watch on her wrist looked expensive, but her eyes held something tired, like someone who had traveled very far and for very long. "Come inside. You're soaked. Let me check your bike." In the garage, Elena sat on a small plastic chair, watching Marcus work. He checked each part carefully, occasionally shaking or nodding his head slightly. "Fuel lines clogged," he said after 15 minutes, "probably from sitting unused for too long. I can fix it right away. But we need to wait for the rain to stop." "How much do I owe you?" Elena asked, reaching for her wallet. $50? Marcus replied without looking up. Elena was puzzled. "In San Francisco, this would cost at least $200. Are you sure? I can pay more." Marcus stopped working and looked at her curiously. "Why do you want to pay more? The work is only worth $50. This simple question left Elena speechless. In her world, everything had a price, and high prices meant quality, respect, status. I just want to make sure you've done good work. You can judge my work by the results." Marcus smiled for the first time. Not by the money. Just then, small footsteps echoed. Lily appeared from the back door, hair in pigtails, holding a sandwich. "Daddy, I'm hungry. Have you eaten?" Then she saw Elena, her eyes lighting up. "Hi, you're so pretty." Elena smiled genuinely for the first time in weeks. "Hello there. What's your name?" "I'm Lily. This is my daddy." Lily pointed at Marcus proudly. "My daddy is really good at fixing cars. He says, cars are like people. They need love to run well." Marcus blushed. "Lily, your daddy's right," Elena said sincerely. "I think I haven't loved this bike enough." The rain continued. Marcus invited Elena to stay for dinner. Just simple spaghetti and salad. Lily talked about school, about her drawings, about her dream of becoming a veterinarian. Elena listened intently, experiencing for the first time a conversation unrelated to work, profit margins, or market strategy. "What do you do for work?" Lily asked innocently. Elena paused, unsure how to answer. I work with computers. Like games? Something like that?" Elena laughed. She realized she'd never explained her job so simply. When the rain stopped, Marcus had finished repairing the bike. The Harley started immediately. "Thank you," Elena said, handing over $50. Then she stopped. Could I come back? I'll be in Portland for a few days. The garage is always open," Marcus replied. But there was something warm in his eyes. The next day, Elena returned with the excuse of checking her bike. And the day after that, with the excuse of wanting to learn basic maintenance. Marcus didn't ask why someone with an expensive Harley didn't know maintenance. And Elena didn't explain why she needed to stay in Portland longer than planned. Maria, the coffee shop owner next door, occasionally brought coffee to Marcus. This time she saw Elena and smiled. "Haven't seen Marcus this cheerful in a long time." Elena blushed but felt warm inside. During afternoons, Elena and Lily played together in the garage. The little girl taught Elena to draw. Elena told Lily about her travels. "You've been to so many places," Lily sighed. "I want to grow up like you." "No," Elena said gently. "You should grow up to be yourself. That's the most special thing." Marcus observed them, his heart stirring. It had been so long since he'd seen Lily this happy with a woman, and Elena there was something different about her. Not fake mystery, but genuine authenticity she was trying to rediscover. Their interactions were small but meaningful. Elena, learning to check tire pressure, while Marcus patiently explained each step. Lily, insisting Elena stay for lunch. Then proudly serving her a peanut butter sandwich, made with extra love. The three of them sitting in the small backyard after dinner. Elena listening to Lily's bedtime stories while Marcus cleaned his tools. Elena had never experienced such peaceful moments. No board meetings. No strategic decisions. No one trying to impress or use her. Just simple human connection. Marcus's quiet strength. Lily's innocent joy. The satisfaction of working with her hands. She found herself laughing more. Sleeping better. Feeling lighter than she had in years. But Elena also struggled with guilt. Every day she stayed was another day of deception. She wasn't just a woman who worked with computers, she was a billionaire CEO whose disappearance was probably causing chaos in San Francisco. Yet every time she considered leaving, Lily would hug her goodnight, or Marcus would smile at something she said. And Elena couldn't bear to break this spell. Marcus, meanwhile, found himself looking forward to Elena's daily visits. There was something healing about her presence, the way she listened when he talked about Sarah. How she encouraged Lily's wild imagination. Her genuine interest in learning about engines. He hadn't felt this way since his wife's death. And it both thrilled and terrified him. Everything changed on Friday afternoon. Elena was playing with Lily in the garage when her phone rang incessantly. She'd tried to ignore it. But the 15th call made her answer. Elena, thank God. Where are you? Jessica's voice, her assistant, came through the speaker. The board of directors called an emergency meeting. Stock price dropped 12% because no one knows where you are. The media is speculating you have health problems. Marcus and Lily both looked up. Elena quickly turned off the speaker. But it was too late. Stock price? Board of directors? Marcus asked quietly. Elena looked down, knowing she couldn't hide anymore. I need to explain. She told them about Vasquez Tech, about being CEO, about why she came to Portland. Marcus listened in silence, his face gradually growing cold. So all of this was just a game to you? He asked finally. No, Elena protested. It wasn't like that. What I felt here, with you, with Lily, it's the most real thing in my life. Most real? Marcus stood up, his voice bitter. You lied to me for a week? You let me and my daughter believe you were just an ordinary person. What's real about that? Lily looked between the two adults, tears forming in her eyes. Why are Daddy and Elena fighting? Elena knelt down, taking Lily's hands. Sweetheart, we're not fighting. It's just that she has to go back where she belongs. Marcus said, his voice hard. Lily, go inside the house. But Daddy, go inside. Lily ran in, sobbing. Elena stood up, her eyes also red. Marcus, please let me explain. Explain what? Marcus turned back, pain in his eyes. How you see us? Are we your entertainment? Or do you want to write a memoir about living like poor people? You know I'm not like that. Elena said, her voice shaking. I don't know who you are. Marcus replied. The woman I thought I knew wouldn't lie for an entire week. You let us open our hearts. Let Lily get attached to you. And now you'll fly back to San Francisco and forget everything. I won't forget. Elena cried. I can't forget. But you will leave. Marcus said, his voice tired. You have an entire empire to run. And us? We're just an interesting chapter in billionaire Elena Vasquez's life. Elena shook her head vigorously. That's not true. You and Lily are the most important things to me. Most important? Marcus laughed bitterly. Then why didn't you tell the truth from the beginning? Because you knew we'd treat you differently if we knew who you were. Because you enjoyed being loved like an ordinary person. But you're not ordinary. Elena. And I can't live in that fake world. Elena stood there, tears falling like rain. She knew Marcus was partly right. She had hidden the truth because she was afraid of losing these simple moments. But she also hid it because she was afraid Marcus would look at her differently with calculating eyes, like everyone else who wanted to use her. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I never meant to hurt you and Lily, but you did," Marcus said. "And the worst part is you made my daughter believe you would stay." Elena knew there was nothing left to say. She grabbed her bag and walked toward the Harley Frem. "I'll transfer money for the bike repair." "Don't," Marcus interrupted. "You already paid." Elena stopped at the garage door. Turning back, "Marcus, if I weren't a CEO, if I were just ordinary Elena, would you?" "But you're not," Marcus said. "And that's the problem." Elena rode away from Portland that night, tears blurring her vision. For the first time in her life, she knew what it meant to love someone more than success, more than money. And for the first time, she understood why people say love can cause such pain. 2 weeks later, Elena returned to San Francisco but felt like a different person. She sat in her 40th floor office, looking out at the bay, but all she could see was the warm light from the small garage in Portland. Work continued: meetings, contracts, million-dollar decisions. But Elena felt like she was living someone else's dream. Jessica noticed the change. "Elena, are you okay? You look different." "Different how?" "Sad. And like you're missing something." Elena didn't answer. She couldn't explain that every night she dreamed of Lily's laughter, Marcus's gentle way of explaining engine parts, those simple but warm dinners. Tuesday afternoon, Elena's phone rang. Unknown number from Oregon. Her heart pounded as she answered. "Elena, this is Maria," the coffee shop owner next to Marcus's garage. The woman's voice was worried. "I got your number from when you left a tip. Can you come to Portland right away? Lily had an accident." Elena's blood ran cold. "What accident? Is she okay?" "She fell off her bike. Head injury. She's in a coma at Oregon Health and Science University Hospital." "Marcus is?" "He's almost collapsed. He won't leave the hospital. Won't eat anything. I think he needs you." Elena didn't need to hear more. She canceled all meetings, booked the first flight to Portland. During the 2-hour flight, she prayed for Lily, prayed for Marcus, prayed to be forgiven for leaving when they needed her most. At the hospital, Elena found Marcus sitting beside Lily's bed. He looked haggard, unshaven, eyes red-rimmed. Lily lay motionless, head bandaged, machines beeping steadily. Marcus looked up when he saw Elena, surprised, but saying nothing. "I came as soon as Maria called," Elena whispered, sitting in the chair beside him. "How is she?" "Doctors say she might need surgery." Marcus' voice trembled. "My insurance won't cover it. They want to transfer Lily to a public hospital, but they don't have the best neurology department there." Elena was quiet for a moment, then took out her phone. "Jessica, transfer $500,000 immediately to Oregon Health and Science University Hospital. Patient account, Lily Thompson. Request the best neurology team to care for her." Marcus grabbed her hand. "Elena, I can't accept." "This isn't for you?" Elena said, looking directly into his eyes. "This is for Lily. She deserves the best care." Marcus was silent, tears streaming down his face. He gripped Elena's hand tightly. "Why did you come back?" "Because I love her," Elena answered honestly. "Because I love you. Because this family is the most important thing in my life." For the next 3 days, Elena didn't leave the hospital. She slept in chairs, ate vending machine food, held Lily's hand, and told her stories. She talked about travels, about oceans and mountains, about wonderful things waiting for Lily to discover. Marcus watched Elena, realizing this was her true self, not the powerful CEO, but someone who knew how to love unconditionally. He saw her read stories to Lily in a gentle voice. saw her carefully wipe the little girl's face, saw her pray beside the hospital bed. Wednesday morning. Lily opened her eyes. "Elena?" Her voice was weak. "You came back." Elena burst into tears. "Sweetheart, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere anymore." Marcus stood beside them, also crying. He realized he'd been wrong. Elena didn't come here out of guilt or obligation. She came because of love that needed no conditions. No explanations. 1 month later, Lily was fully recovered and discharged. Elena was still in Portland, renting a small apartment near Marcus's garage. She worked remotely, running the company through video calls and emails. For the first time in her life, work wasn't her top priority. Mornings. Elena took Lily to school, then stopped by the garage to help Marcus. She learned to change oil, check tires, even repair simple breakdowns. "Did you know Elena is really good?" Lily told Maria. "She fixed Mrs. Peterson's car that even Daddy had to think about for a long time." Marcus smiled, watching Elena concentrate on assembling engine parts. Her hair was tied back, wearing an old t-shirt, hands covered in grease, but she looked happier than ever. "She's learning fast," he told Lily. "Does Daddy love Elena?" Lily asked directly. Marcus stopped working, looking at his daughter. "Why do you ask that?" "Because Daddy smiles more when she's here. And Daddy isn't sad anymore like when Mommy died." Marcus knelt down, hugging Lily. "Would it bother you if Daddy loved someone other than Mommy?" Lily shook her head. "Mommy told me in my dream to take care of Daddy. And now Elena takes care of Daddy, so I don't have to worry." That evening, Marcus and Elena sat in the small backyard, looking up at Portland's starry sky. "Elena," Marcus began, "do you regret leaving everything in San Francisco?" Elena took his hand. "I didn't leave anything. I just brought the most important things here. But your company will run fine. I promoted the COO to CEO, and I'm just an advisor now." Elena turned to look at Marcus. "You know, my whole life I thought success meant having more things. But now I understand. Real success is knowing how to keep the right things." Marcus smiled. "So what's the right thing for you?" "This family," Elena answered without hesitation. "You and Lily, morning breakfasts together, afternoons in the garage, bedtime stories. I want to become Lily's mother." "Want to grow old with you?" Marcus turned, looking deep into Elena's eyes. "Are you sure? This life is very ordinary. Nothing grand like your old world. That's exactly why I love it." Elena smiled. "Will you have me, Marcus Thompson?" Instead of answering with words, Marcus kissed her. A slow kiss, full of love and promise. The next morning, Elena woke up in Marcus's arms, hearing Lily running around in the yard. She smiled, never having felt this happy. The phone rang, Jessica calling from San Francisco with news about $1 million deal. Elena looked at the screen, then turned off the phone. "Not important?" Marcus asked. "Nothing's more important than breakfast with family?" Elena replied, kissing his forehead. 6 months later, Elena and Marcus held a small wedding in the garage decorated with LED lights and Oregon wildflowers. Lily was the flower girl, carrying a small bouquet. Maria made the wedding cake. The guests were just neighborhood friends and regular customers. No reporters, no celebrities, no grand parties, just real love, real smiles, and real happiness. In her speech, Elena said, "I used to think I needed to prove my worth through success, but Marcus and Lily taught me that a person's real value lies in their ability to love and be loved. Today, I'm not just marrying the man I love, but joining a family I'll protect and nurture for life." Marcus held his wife's hand, looking at Lily's radiant smile. "Sarah, don't worry. We'll be happy." The Harley sat in the corner of the garage, now running smoothly, like new. Beside it were Lily's small bicycle and Marcus's old pickup truck. 3 vehicles, 3 people, 1 complete family. Sometimes, what we search for our entire lives lies in the most ordinary moments. Real love doesn't need to be proven by status or money, but by the courage to open our hearts, to trust in the future, to choose to stay. If this story makes you believe that kindness and love still exist, please share it to spread this message.